power will regret why I have to vote for them. This country is a better place and will be a better place.
Yes, sir.
Because there's money in the country that we can live for. We don't need money from outside.
So,
but we don't want to empower people here. We say that as lawmakers, we have become lawbreakers. We have become criminals. We put all the money in the budget for ourselves and leave them out. I want to challenge some of your lawmakers. Some people say they want this senator. They're breaking all the.
You know what Joe Biden did? Subsequently, Joseph Biden reached out to me. About a week or so later, I have that proof here too. I will show you as well. He said, Henry, now he has seen coming to be his cow now to be milking. Let milk the man. He said, Henry, can you get like that? You Remy, my dependable nephew. Do you think you can get Alex to donate $300,000 to the JMB Foundation? He tried to make it look like it's money for the foundation because he doesn't want to say for Cummins to give me money. Do you think you can get Cummins to donate $300,000 to the JMB Foundation for some initiatives, making it sound all decent and professional? I said, well, Uncle, let me think about it and I'll refer to you. To be honest with you folks, I never asked Mr. Cummins. You had just eaten the man's 45,000 US for a trip you had no interest in. Now you're asking me to go back to Alex Cummins through his people and make a request for $300,000. Then he said, you know, he might be inclined to give us the money because he wants something from me. So this is the honest man. This is the honest Joe Bwaka. The Joseph Bwaka that is supposed to be a decent, honorable man is asking me to go to Alex Cummins under the pretext of being inclined to grant Cummins' request for him, Joe Bwaka, to recuse himself from the political race and raise Cummins' hand. So he wanted me to go now to Cummins to go and get another $300,000 from Alex Cummins. I never did. I never delivered that message to Alex Cummins because I knew Joe Bwaka was dishonest. How dare I go ask Cummins for $300,000 to give to Joe Bwaka when Bwaka had just made a fun of Cummins in Ghana at a meeting Cummins gave him money for. And this is and these are things we could not come to the public to disclose these things. We could not do these things because we were in too deep. We were in too deep. And so what
guess what? Then people come and pay. I swear. How we the EPA with me then? Just sang our men and they get it right. What's more like edition and singing from free bowl. What's that to you? And I say on say we them buy get here say na. We mo ta ko le ba. Go running behind.
It's a rescue. I just wanna ask you one question. Now who you came to rescue? You not give him the people what they want. Then you say you came to rescue. Let me ask you, Mr. Rescue, the people say not like you. You say you coming to rescue your people. Oh, that's why you to us. You even claim to even be the hero for your experience. But why you to us? So why the rest not stable? No job, no food to go on the table. No just for the poor. Once you not get no money, rest and show your kids can't hold. No opportunity for the youth. Instead of helping for the bringing poverty on the youth. Tell me why the people vote you for. You treating the people I hate to say you not love. It's a rescue. I just wanna ask you one question. That who you came to rescue? You not give him the people what they want. Then you say you came to rescue. Let me ask you, Mr. Rescue, the people say not like you. You say you was going to change things, but we not seeing changes. Promises you made you and your rescue team. Stay, we not seeing changes. You made the whole country divided into two. CDC and Unity Party, they can't conclude. You downsizing, you wish hunting. Now on the top of the Liberian people suffering. You downsizing, you wish hunting. Now on the top of the Liberian people suffering. Tell me who you rather give the rescue now. You and your rescue team. I say, oh, it's a rescue. I just downsizing, you wish hunting. Now on the top of the Liberian people suffering. You dance you wish haunting. Now on the top of the Liberian people suffering. Tell me who you rather kill the rescue now. You and your rescue team. I say, oh, it's a rescue. I just wanna ask you one question. Now who you kill the rescue?
On a very, very, very wonderful Monday afternoon in Monrovia.
Say you kill the rescue. Let me ask.
We're back at it.
It's a rescue. The people say now.
Oliver Kine, Princess Alexa, Vanja Colley, and what a pleasant way to welcome all of you to Freedom Hub on 87.9. Your Liberian Republic, Africa's oldest democracy, is encountering a lot of issues on a daily basis, and the breaking news in the country is that the former speaker, the Honorable Jonathan Fonati Kofa, I can safely say the former speaker of the House of Representatives, will now return to the floors of the legislature beginning tomorrow in his capacity as Grand Creek County District Number 2 representative. So on today at about 12 o'clock today, the Honorable Jonathan Fonati Kofa resigned as Speaker of the House of Representatives. This in itself is a clear declaration of a vacancy at the level of the Liberian House of Representatives. That's why it is. So there is a vacancy for the position of the Speaker of the House of Representatives following the resignation of Speaker Jonathan Fonati Kofa. So on today, he resigned as the Speaker of the 55th Legislature, paving the way for the members of the House of Representatives to decide what next. To decide whether to elect a brand new Speaker or by consensus to choose another speaker in line with their rules and the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. Your country, Liberia, is heavily engulfed with political complexities. This is the country we now have, a country where to eat has become an achievement for several families across the area. People are now celebrating whenever meat is on the fire. Whenever meat is being served in several homes in Liberia, it has become an issue of achievement. Too many issues of political uncertainty in the country. But we are hoping to talk more about that situation here on 87.9. Motorate, the chief medical director of our country, the head of the medical, stuff in the country, Peter Matthew George, the man with the fake credential, has been removed from his position in the country. But there are information relative to his involvement in the E&J Medical Center in Nimba County, a medical facility belonging to Vice President Jeremiah Cole. There's been too many issues relative to his involvement at that hospital. There are issues emanating from the county in which it has been reported that Liberians went to seek medical attention at that hospital, and some of them came out with too many medical complications. Some died in the process on unexplained circumstances. And with the issue of his fake credentials being discovered by the Liberian authorities, it is only becoming alarming that the hospital will need to be investigated. On today's edition, we'll talk more about those issues here on 87.9. My name is Kine. Alexa is here. We will take a few bars of our team song. When that is done, we're going to run directly into the issues here on 87.9. Let's take a break, bring you our commercials on this radio. We'll bring you Crime Stoppers Liberia. We will bring you Liberty Fortune and the Yanjin beer. After which, Alexa and I will run into the issues making the news in this country. Welcome.
I just want to ask you one question. Now who you came to rescue? You not give him the people what they want. Then you say you came to rescue. Let me ask you, Mr. Rescue, the people say not. Mr. Rescue, the people say not like you. Liberia. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, old man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's center to interior, Crime Stopper, keep us safe, let's stopping crimes for all of us. Use your time well. No waka.
Yes.
Pee-wee,
Yes.
what all the happiness for now?
Yama.
Mhm.
The thing that making some of our friends in other countries can be building houses and sending their children to Google schools now come to Liberia, yeah?
What's that?
They got one Liberian company called Liberty Fortune.
Liberty Fortune?
Yes, this company bringing one game they call Liberty Fortune Scratch and Win game.
And how people can play this game?
Very easy. Buy their ticket and scratch the silver part on it. Just the same way you can do the scratch card. Then any money you see on it is for you. You can win different amount of money, all the way up to 10,000 USD.
So you mean when I buy the Liberty Fortune scratch card and peel the silver part, any money there is for me?
Yes, and you only need just $1 USD on the same money LD to play and win.
But where I can get a Liberty scratch card from?
Go to the shops, go to the boys who selling scratch cards and tell them that you want Liberty scratch card. Pay, scratch, and win. And then you take the winning card to their office at the Don's residence on 2nd Street, Topman Boulevard in Cinco for your money.
Pee-wee, thank you for this life-changing game. Liberty scratch card, we for it every day. Spend small money and win big money.
A message from Liberty Fortune LLC, the new game changer in Liberia. Oh yeah.
Time the money, time the money. Use your time well.
Introducing Yanjin Beer from Beijing, the newest sensation in town. Yanjin Beer is so smooth and light. You can drink it, wake up in that morning, feeling very energized. And you wicked boy, the woman will be very happy. No headache, no eye spinning. And the Yanjin Beer bottle, it got a special way again open. Nobody will ever use you for the opener again. Very easy. Yanjin Beer can be found wholesale or retail at Sir Exeter and Jongo Water, and also in supermarkets or bars around you. Reward yourself by drinking Yanjin Beer, and trust me, you will be ready to go.
Yansin Pierre, one of our loyal partners here on 87.9. Alexa, good afternoon. Welcome, my dear.
Good afternoon, Oliver, and I would like to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. However, where you're joining us, I would like to say welcome to today's edition of Freedom Hub on 87.9 FM. We have a lot to talk about, and I'm sure our audience is basically awaiting our analysis on exactly the speaker's resignation. So we're going to be here to talk about that basically and other issues in Liberia. So we'd like to say welcome.
Okay, so basically there are too many things to talk about in the country, and of course there are a lot. I repeat, there are a lot that will be happening. But for those of you who are playing the cash giveaway, remember today is Monday, and on Mondays we give you 4,000 Liberian dollars. So the code remains the same, *799 *11#, and that will place you in a position to win for yourself 4,000 Liberian dollars. The more you play, the better your chances are. So there are too many things we'll talk about today, and let us hope to have a wonderful time on the radio. So the breaking news, Alexa, Speaker Kofa has resigned.
Yeah, I don't know if it is breaking news, but I think for a lot of people that is it. But I would like to to throw this ball in Liberians' courts because they've followed this bait by bait, and a lot of them got involved, especially when we had Liberians to march up Capitol just to, protest in respect of the rule of law. So I think a lot of them are out there and they have their own views. So for me personally, I would like to hear from them first as to what do they think.
You want to hear from the callers?
Of course,
No.
of course, of course.
Yeah.
Even if it is not now, I would like to hear from Liberians first because I remember a lot of them called on this show, and when we talked about what was happening up Capitol from October of last year up to today, we're in May. A lot of them had their own thing to say, and they were in support of Speaker J. Fonanti Kofa at the time, now Representative J. Fonanti Kofa. Wow. Yeah, so they have been a part of this journey, and they supported him 100% effortlessly to stand up against people who did not respect the rule of law. So the fact that I'm saying I would like to hear from them first is actually from that background because they followed through on this. They've been there. Some of them were up Capitol almost all the time at the court. When Representative Funati Kofa, then Speaker, was summoned at the Liberia National Police headquarters, Liberians were there. So that's one of the things, or one of the reasons I have said, like to hear from them first. But it is breaking news in country anyway, and a lot of people are just saying their own things. But a few hours ago, he had addressed the press to say exactly what he had to say or what he needed to say, and I think we're going to play that. So yeah, let's talk about that a little bit too.
Okay. Well, the speaker resigned, and the resignation is something that I am not shocked of. I'm not surprised that the speaker resigned. I knew he would have resigned the day the Liberian executive decided to act outside of the courts of our country, specifically the Supreme Court of the country. The speaker's debacle, the situation involving former Speaker Kofa, is in twofold. The fight was legal and the fight was political. In any given instance or in any given situation, we who are in a democratic country like Liberia, we rely on legality to form the basis of our actions. When your actions are not driven from legal perspective, no matter how good, how effective, how efficient those actions may be, they don't meet the standard of what is required for a democratic country. And so the former speaker was confronted, like I told you, with two different issues. The first has to do with the legality. His position was illegally attacked. Members of the legislature went to work and decided to remove the speaker from an illegal angle. The rest is history. All of you know it. He went to court and decided to seek legal redress. Although the matter was political, but the constitution of our country says all of the issues emanating in this country within the territorial bounds of the republic, all of those issues are issues subjected to the courts in terms of disagreements. And the Supreme Court, which is the final arbiter of justice, is the one to do the final declaration, is to put the nail, in the coffin. The former speaker went all alone through the legal route and was able to succeed in winning the legal battle. Unfortunately, the implementing arm of the government responsible for ensuring that laws are implemented and executed decided to ignore the court of our country, the Supreme Court. The complainant went to court and won his case. Under our laws, the complainant is not the one who is supposed to effectuate the ruling. If you and myself go to court and I win the case, I am not supposed to effectuate the ruling. If the court says, okay, you won the case, unless I stole your bottled water, and unless I have to pay back your bottled water, I'm not supposed to go jack or unless I say the court say, you unless the court say, I win. You took my water, so you got to give it. I start holding her trouser, she go into her car, I'm holding her, you got to give my water. I already win the case. No. You are not supposed to implement your own, you are not supposed to implement any ruling in your favor as the complainant. You are not supposed to implement it by yourself. Under our laws, the executive is supposed to be the ones, the executive folks are supposed to be the ones to implement whatever ruling from the angle of the court. That's how the law, that's how the governance architecture of our country is arranged. The speaker did not benefit from it. And by the way, we will refer to him as speaker and former speaker because once a speaker, always a speaker. So get that clear. Councillor Kofa did not benefit the statutory responsibility of the Liberian executive. Hence, there was a serious problem in living up to the court's ruling. He had less options. Under our law, when the court says you're right, the executive is supposed to ensure that your right is right. If the executive decides to meddle, there is nothing you can do. Whether the Supreme Court gave you, there is nothing you can do. It's almost like the land case. Somebody, took your land and whatever the case is, plain rubber on it, plain cocoa, coffee. You went to court, the Supreme Court issues a ruling, and they say, oh, man, that's your land. Go. You won the case. If the executive branch of government assigns security people with you, with the sheriff, if they're not assign police to go and accompany your bulldozer just in case you want to root out all the rubber trees and all of the cocoa trees, once that doesn't happen, you as the complainant or you as the victor in that case, you don't have the right. You will not be able to go and claim your property because what happens if the man who planted rubber on your property is hostile? Why if the men are all rebel from Unimoke or Land Rebel or from Model, LPC? Why if the men are all rebel or he's a Zogo or Sierra Madre Grenada man? You will not be, although you won the case in court, you will not have the opportunity to reclaim your farmland because this individual in question who has taken over your property is a twin Zogo. He got guns. So you would need the executive to accompany you. When a PSU, the PSU. When a EROU, the EROU. When a police, army, military, whatever, they will do it. In this case, after the court ruling, the speaker, at the time right after the Supreme Court ruling, the speaker should have benefited from the executive's decision to have his rights, privileges, and everything assigned onto the Speaker of the Republic of Liberia. He should have had those issues restored. The very moment he was declared the victor in the case. Unfortunately, that did not happen. His Excellency, the President of our country, decided to continue to work with the man who planted rubber on a friend land, Richard Kuhn. And so that became very tedious for Jonathan Kofa to have continued to argue. And why this is going on, according to our investigation and what we see play out, we saw members of his team who were supporting him from day one up to the end. They said, but Chief, we've been with you. We went to court. We succeeded. We got our court ruling. But the executive didn't want to work with us. The executive didn't want to recognize you. They don't want to give you your EPS back. They don't want to give you your convoy back. They don't want to give you your police back. They don't want to allow you go back to your office. In fact, under their watch and protection, they allow Rachel Kuhn to install iron door to the Speaker office, to the chamber, we do not have the patience anymore. We are running out of time. It is difficult for us. Some of them started to leave and join the majority because for them, they believe that the president, the executive, the guys were not willing to work in line with the law. And so, what do you expect Kofa to do? What did you expect him to continue doing? To continue in his role as speaker when the executive that is supposed to be cooperating with him as the legitimate speaker was there doing business with another group of people who got no political legitimacy? He thought as a law-abiding citizen and somebody who will want to see the country move forward to say, look, after all of this court issue, I can now go and resign because it is now clear that I was never removed. So this resignation by the speaker is a clear indication that there is a vacancy at the Liberian House of Representatives for the position of the speaker. It is left with the rest of the lawmakers, the representatives, to decide whether to fill in that vacancy or they regularize the status of Honorable Rachel Kuhn. The way to do that is in line with their rules. It's in line with the Constitution. They can choose to do whatever they want to do. But for him, he said, look, I'm going to leave. I won my case in court. I'm not supposed to enforce my own ruling. Those who are supposed to do it, they refuse to do it. And so I am going to resign. That is what he told us. That is what he said in the press in the press conference that was held today at about 12 o'clock. Do I disagree with that? From my analysis, you understand that I do not have a problem. What I have problem with as I submit is the fact that our people who are educated in this country, or our people who claim to be educated in this country, most of whom are knowledgeable, especially with the issue that has to do with the separation of power. Those who are knowledgeable about the rule of law, those who are knowledgeable about the check and balances in our governance process, for them to continue to remain mute, for them to continue to aid and abet this broad day wanton disregard for the rule of law, only because of political alignment or because they are compromised as a result of their dealings with the executive or something somewhere, and all of the different things attached to it, those are things that I'm afraid of. Because Kofa is gone. He's no longer speaker. He has resigned. There is going to be a new speaker tomorrow. There will be a new speaker in the days to come. Whatever the case is, we should do everything possible as a people in country to uphold the tenets of democracy. It is a shame that the final arbiter of our country will pass down a ruling and that ruling is unable to be implemented by the executive. It doesn't say anything good about us. The American embassy need to issue statement to criticize the executive before you know that it is wrong. Our constitution is enough to erect the checkpoint when one bad governance attitude is ongoing. In this case, the Liberian executive, proudly headed by His Excellency Joe Yuma Bwaka, led that charge in disregarding the constitution of our country, and it is unacceptable, regardless of where we find ourselves. I know the United Partisans are happy. I know those who support Richard Nangbekun, and I mean the guys are happy. I know you are glad that your laws are being violated, your laws are being brutalized. You are glad that the due process of our country has been abused only for your personal aggrandizement. But mind you, there is a Liberia beyond Fonati Kofa and Rachel Kuhn. There is a Liberia beyond Joe Bwaka and George Weah. There is a Liberia beyond the CDC and the Unity Party. Beyond these political alignments and different political patronage that we normally have in our country, there will continue to exist a country called Liberia. Whatever we do today will set a precedent for what will happen tomorrow. And that is why people like us, when we come and sit behind these microphones, we do not come here with emotions. We do not come here with sentiments. We come here with the mindset that Liberia must survive irrespective of any political involvement. That's why whether the party in power, that CDC or the Unity Party, we keep pushing for the interest of this country. Because if we do not preserve what is holding us together as a country, we are bound to fall. In fact, we are doomed. This place could collapse. It is because of the laws of our country. That's why you can walk to somebody's car and bust it. If not for the laws of our country, Alexa, nobody got anything in this town. I can pass around. I get sleepy. I end up Boulevard Palace. If I get string, I open Boulevard Palace, one of the room doors, enter there and start sleeping. Anybody come to me, if I got gun, I tell you, say, get off my door. I mean, that's how a lawless republic can be. But it is because of the laws of our country. That's why you don't move to anybody's place and go eat. You finish, you tell the person, say, I'm supposed to pay you. It's because of our laws. So when you sit down and allow your political party alignment and allow that because you're from CDC or you're from Unity Party, so it should give you reason to look at the law, something that is written plain black, to look at it, and because of your political interest and say, let it be this way, good. Richard Kun will go. Fonati Kofa will go. George Weah and Joe Barker will go. CDC and UP will go. At the end of the day, this country will remain. Whatever you do with it today will serve as reference in the future. And so, yes, he has resigned, and that has paved way for a brand new speaker election to be held, to be determined by the representatives. I'm not a lawmaker. But what is on our books, I mean, what's written in the Constitution and the rules at the House of Representatives is very clear. Once there is a vacancy for the speaker, there is a procedure to follow. If an ordinary representative resigns today or for any cause of death in a given session, when the roll call is done, and at the end of the roll call, it is proven that Representative XYZ has died or has resigned, the clerk of the House of Representatives will be instructed by the presiding officer to inform the National Elections Commission of a vacancy. There are whole processes assigned to everything. Similarly with the speaker. Once the speaker tenders in his resignation and that resignation letter is given to the chief clerk will have no other reason but to read that communication on the floor on tomorrow, to note receiving that communication. And once it is read, except Richard Kun will not allow people to read it. Except the lawmakers will sit and decide to continue in their disregard for the rule of law. But if this thing was now about wanting Kofa now to be our speaker, you know, if the whole fight was about we want Kofa as our speaker, Kofa has gone. Kofa already left. The good thing is that it is no longer about Kofa. The rest of you who are in the 72, the rest of the 72 members of the House of Representatives, you have a responsibility on your shoulder right now to continue to do what is in line with the Constitution. At least this time around, you do not need 49 to make Richard Kun speaker. No, you don't need it. To remove the speaker, you need 49. To elect a new speaker, you just need simple majority. If 24% say they want Kun, 25% say they want Tifa wins. That's simple majority you need. So all of you who have been having the 47, 49, and for the everything, the vacancy is there. The best thing you can do so that we can start to respect the House of Representatives is seeing you got the number, please tell Richard Kun, my man, let's go to election. You already 42. 42, or you go and vote for Richard Kun. Once you vote for him, he becomes the legitimate speaker of the Republic of Liberia and will start to refer to him as Speaker Richard Kun. That responsibility is on your shoulder as members of the House of Representatives. It is no longer an issue of Kofa. He resigned. He said, oh, I think the reason why the executive refusing to implement the Supreme Court ruling is because perhaps Joe Barker want me to be speaker under his watch as president. Maybe that's why the executive is reneging on enforcing the Supreme Court's ruling. So he left. He's no longer speaker. So what is required now is, since you already got the 42, you got the 43, you got the 45, you got your 47, you were only looking for 2 or 3 to reach the 49, go to the floor. Major Science will read the communication, the letter of resignation from Speaker Kofa. She will read it on the floor, thereby resulting to a vacancy. And once that letter is read, Tifa will stop presiding. The law says the deputy speaker has within his range 60 days. 60 days. I stand to be corrected on it. 60 days to run a new speaker election. It said within, it said after 60 days. It said within. So right after that letter is read, he can even decide to solicit input from the floor. And it's very simple. As I conclude, it'll be like, oh, ladies and gentlemen, you've listened to the communication read by our chief clerk informing of the resignation of our former speaker. What is the will and pleasure? Somebody on the floor will say, oh, in line with our rules, that gave 60 days, I so move that, the communication be received and our rules be applied. The application of the rule could mean deferring the speaker election to another date, or there could be a subsidiary motion or an amended motion that will want to have that particular issue of replacement of the speaker done on the same day. In such case, in such situation, right there, a speaker election will be held. Nomination will be made from the floor. Somebody will walk out and say, I rise to nominate Representative Ellis Paul from Raji County to be our speaker. Somebody will say, I rise to nominate Representative this, and the process will go on. Right there, if a speaker is elected, Tifa goes back to his deputy speaker seat. The new speaker is inducted by the Sergeant at Arms and the chief clerk, and we have a new speaker in the Republic of Liberia. We all go back to seeing what the rescue government has in stock for our country. But until that can happen, the lawmakers will have to prove to us. They will have to prove to us that they are actual lawmakers. I understand the political side of it, that you want to bend the laws because you did not want KOFA. I understand that. Politically, you were as stubborn because you didn't want KOFA. But now that KOFA is out, it is upon your shoulders to ensure that the laws are followed. Because once you do not follow the laws, it means you should not be lawmakers in the first place. It makes no sense that you will be lawmakers who will not respect the laws. So who are you making the laws for? The reason why we pay you guys 11,000, 12,000, some of you 15,000, is because you are making laws that are supposed to govern order in the country. Some of you were on the rice farm, on the rubber farm, when other people were making laws in this country. You came and became representative and made the laws there. You are disregarding those laws. It's not going to be sensible enough that after you shall have left your position as representatives, in the future, other people start disrespecting or disregarding the laws that you are making now. So we'll be watching you by law, by default, based on the resignation of the speaker. There is a vacancy, and we'll be following the House of Representatives to know how that vacancy will be occupied. Until then, we'll listen to Alexa, after which we'll play a portion of the former speaker's resignation, press into action. Then we go to the lines and take calls before we run to the next topic for the second segment.
Okay, so
you still want to hear from the people?
For some reasons, I don't have much to say. Of course, I still want to hear from them.
Okay.
For some reasons, I don't have much to say, but I will just go back to some of the words I said before. What is happening in Liberia now is not new. It is not, something that's on discovery. No. There are things that are happening before, and there are men who have done, worse than exactly what's happening in Liberia with regards to, how the Constitution has been disrespected and how the rule of law is not prioritized. And we know exactly where those men ended. Some of them are dead, and some of them are basically places where they did not actually imagine it with them. So the fact that we're here today, I think it was more like we were even maybe different speakers in our own world, because we followed this and we told a lot of Liberians where we actually stood. And I think it is safe to say that we still respect the rule of law, and we still look forward to a Liberia where the constitution as well as the rule of law will be respected. And whenever you have a ruling from the Supreme Court, the people who are supposed to enforce the laws will still do what they're supposed to do constitutionally based on the functions given to the executive. So that is like really, really clear. So we have followed through from October of last year, and we're here in May of 2025. So it has been a good run. It has been a couple of months, and we have done exactly what people who are patriotic enough would have done. The fact that we have elevated different discussions about Speaker being one of the people who stood his ground to have said, hey, this is not maybe about me personally. This is about our country. This is about, respecting the rule of law. And we think Liberians should be able to stand for what is right constitutionally, even if you have 1,000 of people being against it, or even if you have the most powerful, most influential people against it. But here we are today. He has resigned. And I think it has been a good run. That's all I can say. And I'm sure in the coming days, we're going to see what will play out of Capitol with maybe new election. You have different people saying they want to be speakers again, or maybe you will have Kuhn there. Not maybe, but I'm sure he's going to be there. But here we are. And I think it has been a good run. That's all I can say. For some reasons, I'm at a loss for words. Seriously.
Okay. All right. So that's where we are. That's exactly where we are. Alexa had it to say. Let's listen to the speaker quickly, the former speaker rather. Then we open up the lines like Alexa suggested. I am sure she will want to listen to what Liberians have to say, and that is where our energy is gonna be focused. So let's go directly to the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Jonathan Fonati Kofa. Go ahead and listen.
Information. And we believe at the time that once the Supreme Court clarifies it, everybody will go according to the rule of law. The Supreme Court made a clarification. I think even the smallest child that started school could understand what the Supreme Court said, except for not taking over speaker. Any other thing that happened was illegal. Then the rules of the games shifted when the president said he would go by his original posture, which was to deal with a majority bloc. Okay, once that changed, we had to assess our own participation in what is going on. And as we see it, after the caucus evaluated, with still those going up at the Capitol, with more armed men being called in as reinforcement, our choice was to either go tomorrow to the Capitol to have a repeat of some sort of violence, right? Or to avoid that. I think one of the things we try to do is to avoid it. The second thing is, you see Fonati Kofa, but you don't see the people standing behind Fonati Kofa. How long can I ask my 60 employees who have not been paid for 6 months to stay on? Okay, I have to evaluate that. How can I ask my colleagues who have endured this battle to stay on, especially when significantly we started to lose some of our most committed members after the president's statement. All of that led us to have a strategy session and a strategy meeting to say, what is the utility of holding on? Do I just continue to be a speaker sitting down at home while someone else is exercising the power and the privileges of the office? In my mind, I think that's not a wise use of my time.
In that regard, we have a speculation that you took money to resign. How factual is this information?
But I think you said speculation. I will be, and surprisingly, it came from a rescue blogger. So he got to flesh out and bring more information. Let me tell you this. If I wanted to take money for this would not be the ideal time to take money, right? Because it's not as valuable as it was before the hearing, before the ruling, right? Before the ruling, if I had withdrawn my case and I wanted to sell it, that was the ideal time. So it doesn't make sense what they are saying is, and it's anticipated in Liberia, nobody do things out of principle. We sat here for 6 months, no pay, no nothing, nobody bringing any gas or anything. At the end of 6, 7 months, then you can't say we took money. We could have taken money and spared the public. But there is no issue of money changing hands except the legitimate benefits, salaries, and benefits of our colleagues.
Was there a proposal from your resignation? Was there any proposal forward to any out of the executive or any branch of government concerning your resignation? Proposal in terms of dealing with some of your colleagues,
Yes, we said we had a discussion with them that I intended to resign, that my request was that the salaries and benefits of my colleagues be paid.
Was that here too?
Partially, and then that precipitated another meeting with my colleagues directly, in which they got the assurances that it will be done fully.
What does this?
What about some of your employees who got arrested currently in central prison? What happened to that case?
Okay, so we will reiterate what we've always said. I cannot negotiate a criminal case in a political settlement. It appears that maybe I'm guilty of something. My request to the police, because the case have been treated so politically, is let's get international investigators to come and investigate the case, look at all the evidence, and whatever the report is, we will abide by it. But as long as it remains the way it is, it remains a political case. Let me give you an example. When we won the case at the Supreme Court, they called two of my colleagues. You need to come back for investigation. Okay, the colleagues go there. The same question they asked one of them that they asked him the first time. The day one of the newspapers came and said, "Oh, the speaker is resigning," the other colleague that was supposed to appear there, they said, "Oh, no, we need you again." Okay, so I mean, you can tell what's going on, and our request is let's internationalize it. Let's bring other professionals to look at it. Otherwise, anything you do will be political.
Honorable Speaker,
part of the negotiation.
I can negotiate the law, right? If I resign, that is the inevitable part of the law, that a new speaker has to be elected. The vacancy got created at 12 p.m. today.
what does this mean for you as a president?
The resolution, there be election. Do you expect election to elect a new
speaker? I just answered that question. That is the law. I can negotiate that. I can say if I resign, you will elect speaker. If I resign, a vacancy is created. And that vacancy, according to the Constitution and our rules, is
what does this mean for you as a president?
Okay, there you have it. Our Liberian journalist doing our Liberian journalistic things. They do too much. But that is what it is. You heard the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the former Speaker rather. You heard the former Speaker of the House of Representatives. So right now, as we speak, based on the laws of the country, Thomas Falah, upon reading that communication on the floor, Honorable Thomas Falah, the Deputy Speaker, is expected to take over and will auction in a brand new speaker elections. That is what we expect. Anything other than that, that means that the 72 representatives are in their business, in their normal violation speed and so forth. But we have the communication from the speaker, the former speaker rather. We have his letter of resignation. Let's read it, then we'll go to the lines and take calls. So it says, Honorable Madra Sayon, Chief Clerk, House of Representatives, 55th Legislature, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. The reference is letter of resignation, and it says, Dear Honorable Sayon, please inform the members of my resignation from the office of the Speaker effective 12 noon today, May 12, 2025, in accordance with the Constitution and our rules. Deputy Speaker Thomas Falah will become presiding officer and acting speaker under a new until a new speaker is elected. Please convey to the members my is the resignation letter from Speaker Jonathan Representative Jonathan Fonatiko, the former speaker, rather. So we'll go to the lines right now and take your calls, or we'll go to the lines and take your calls. Let's know exactly what all of you Liberians are making of this particular situation. But until then, let's take this quick break and bring you some of our commercials here. When we come back, we take calls on 87.9.
Introducing Yanjin Beer from Beijing, the newest sensation in town. Yanjin Beer is so smooth and light. You can drink it, wake up in that morning, feeling very energized, and you wicked boy, your woman will be very happy. No headache, no eye spinning. And the Yanjin Beer bottle, it got a special way to open. Nobody will ever use you for the opener again. Very easy. Yanjin Beer can be found wholesale or retail at Sir Exeter and Jongo Water, and also in supermarkets or bars around you. Reward yourself by drinking Yanjin Beer, and trust me, you will be ready to go.
Time the money, use your time well. No waka waka.
Yes, yes, yes.
Peewee?
Yes.
What all the happiness for now?
Yama, the thing that making some of our friends in other countries can be building houses and sending their children to Google schools now come to Liberia, yeah?
What's that?
They got one Liberian company called Liberty Fortune.
Liberty Fortune?
Yes, this company one game they call Liberty Fortune Scratch and Win game.
And how people can play this game?
Very easy. Buy their ticket and scratch the silver part on it. Just the same way you can do the scratch card. Then any money you see on it is for you. You can win different amount of money, all the way up to 10,000 USD.
So you mean when I buy the Liberty Fortune scratch card and build the silver part, any money there is for me?
Yes, and you only need just $1 USD on the same money LD to play and win.
But where I can get a Liberty scratch card from?
Go to the shops. Go to the boys who sell scratch cards and tell them that you want Liberty scratch card. Pay, scratch, and win. And then you take the winning card to their office at the Don's residence on 2nd Street, Topman Boulevard in Cinco for your money.
Peewee, thank you for this life-changing game. Liberty scratch card, we for it every day. Spend small money and win big money.
A message from Liberty Fortune LLC, the new game changer in Liberia. Oh yeah.
Okay, so welcome back to the program Freedom Hub on 87.9. Let's go to the lines and take in some of our calls. That's what you have. Speaker Jonathan Fonatiko is now former Speaker of the House of Representatives. He resigned on today at 12 noon, paving the way for a brand new Speaker election at the level of the Liberian capital. My name is KOK ELEXA is here. Let's go to the lines and talk to you, our callers. This first person, hello, how are you? How you doing?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Go ahead, quickly.
This is David Chase, and I just don't join you from my residence. You see, Lawrence Walker, we can't do anything in our place for election to go on. Lawrence Walker will continue to have a will at the level of the legislature.
President Walker.
I think it's a Walker. That's my choice of word.
Okay, go ahead.
I choose to call him Lawrence Walker. I choose to call him Mr. Walker, and that's my choice of words. But I am seeing the way he had manipulated that house and made that place to be Lawrence. He will continue to have his Richard Coon as a speaker, not to adhere to the rule of law in this country, because he being the very first person to disrespect the Supreme Court on the turning position. And he has started that at the lower house by forcibly making the speaker to resign from the post because he does not want him to be speaker of the Republic of Liberia. History will remember Walker for all the wrong reason that he has brought to our country. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. We leave you right there. Let's go and talk to more and more of our people here on the line. Okay. Let's go and talk to more and more of our people on the line. The WhatsApp number is +231 865 500 104. Let's talk to this other person quickly. Go ahead. Let's hear you. How are you? Hello.
Hello.
Go ahead. Let's hear you quickly. No time.
Hi, this is Miss Morris calling from Amsterdam.
Go ahead.
I remember December 7th when they were sending us in prison for this speaker and for the Liberian people. Not even because fanatical but for the Lord. So after he thank you for fighting a good fight. If it's happening again, we will do it. And one thing I can tell Richard Coon, he will get a shock of his life, thinking that he's going to win. Oh no. And Mr. Blackheart, since you won, this is my first time calling your name. The only thing I will tell you, God will pay you what you're doing to we Liberian because you are not a Liberian person. And you come and treat us like dirt. And we sit when we want to speak. You pull your Freetown police on the street because they arrested me. I get proof. To do things evil to us, when God will pay you and your children. That's all I can say. Thank you, Mr. Kofa, for making a right decision.
We leave you right there from Amsterdam, in the Netherlands. Let's talk to this other person. Hello, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Hello.
Go ahead. 1 minute. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. My name is Moses Nakor from the capital.
From the capital. Let's hear you, Otis. Go ahead.
Okay. They have a test that says anything that is not done properly, it is not done at all. But the cover shouldn't tell us that he is down for the sake of Liberian people. When he speech or what have you, he said he's resigning because of the police are not taking their salary and they are being denied of their benefits. So what is this? We're not going anywhere. So no president will be set in the country. Anybody just work on to do their own thing.
So one of the things, hello, one of the things he said also was he won the case, and the people who supposed to make sure that his rights are restored, the people are still doing business with Richard Coon.
Yes, the international community are there. They are observing.
Have you heard or seen a release from the international community since this thing started, especially after the Supreme Court ruling? Did you see a communication from the U.S. Embassy asking?
No.
Did you see?
No, not yet.
Did you see
not
any?
Yet.
Did you see any from any other different foreign mission? Asking the government to restore Kofa's dignity. Did you see that happening?
No, not yet. But probably there might be a certain conspiracy between they and this government against Kofa.
So that's why. That's why Kofa said he's tired.
Yes, basically, but where is the thought of the Liberian people?
So the constitution of our country in Article 1 says all power is inherent in the people. So if you think the lawmakers of the capital are not doing the right thing in the interest of the country, you have the right to assemble. You have the right to go to them and ensure that they commit themselves to the rule of law, or else they will not work. You have that power as a Liberian.
Yes. Those protest was to be the protest that Liberians were going to come out, and political one of the case are going to be one of the historic ground for which the Liberians are going to stay on. But right now, where are we when it comes to the don't or 17 protest?
Okay. So Mobile Modu and the rest of the people will tell you where are we on it. Let's talk to this person. Go ahead. 1 minute. How you doing?
Hello.
Go ahead, sir. Quickly.
Yeah. You're kind. How are you doing?
We are great, my brother.
Okay, Jadon King, I'm calling you from my Western District 11. I want to commend my former speaker for this immense step, actually for a cause. But there's a thing that says in our local vernacular that if the hustler says the street can buy you, people have to enforce the law at the appointed time they did, but rather they choose to go the other side. But mind you, there's a warning and the caveat to each and every one of them to make it. They don't go for this. But the time is coming. But we the Liberians also stand for the cause. You should do the same as Kofa is doing. Thank you for being on your show.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. Let's talk to the person. Go ahead. 1 minute. How you doing? Hello? Okay, we missed out on this person. Let's talk to this other one. Go ahead. Let's hear you. 1 minute. How are you? Caller on the international line. We're talking to you, VK. Let's hear you. Go ahead quickly.
Yeah, hello, Khan.
Listen to your phone. Don't listen to your radio. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, so I'm Sylvester Kamara calling from Illinois, US.
Go ahead, Sylvester.
So what I see in this is that it just boiled down to the issue of snow and talent, the same thing. Because resigning at this stage, I think it doesn't really make sense to me, because you fight to this level and then coming back to resign for no reason, because I don't know what message is just sending out there. You fight the same way and resign. So why? I don't know. I'm so frustrated to hear this. Seriously.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. You're frustrated. You're frustrated that he resigned. He said he resigned because the people who's supposed to implement his ruling decided to supply more police people to the man who took a job instead of he who won the job. That's why he said he resigned.
Wow.
Okay. All right, my brother. Thank you very much. We leave you right there. Let's talk to the other person. Hello, sir. Go ahead. 1 minute. How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing?
We're great, my dear. Let's hear you quickly.
This is Alfred Jaman according from Caldwell.
Caldwell, go ahead, Alfred.
Yeah, you see, what is going on is that we don't need to blame Mudafi Kofa. He has done his best. I know, but keeping up until now. The president has decided not to work with him at all. Even he disrespected the court, and he doesn't even care about the constitution of this country. This is something that we, the citizens, that we are joking with tomorrow.
Oh my God, there's something we the citizens joking with tomorrow. He left the line. Sorry, we didn't cut you off. Let's talk to this one. Hello, go ahead. Let's hear you. Let's hear you, my brother. Quickly. Go ahead.
Because people who claim to know better, they come to power because they get power and open their arms. The technical rule that Jay for new paper remain a legitimate figure until a while to be done. It's legally is done if you people. Other technical really share by the bar or software and we are resident. We are talking to support these people because of I think
Okay, thank you very much. We leave you right there. Your line is terrible, but let's talk to this one. Hello, 1 minute.
How are you? Oliver, this is hard to say unless this is Edmond car.
Go ahead, Edmond.
Usually in bear car that is keeping borders. Hello, we say hats off to you guys that stood with the Liberian people to allow our voice to be heard during the whole saga. It was not intended for Fonati. It was intended for the law. We wanted for the law to stand. Because where there is no rule of law, nothing you can see happening in the country. So hats off to all of us for regulation to Fonati. If you have to go and rest, Liberian people say, how do we sell precedent? You talk about precedent here? You know how long these guys hold us? They just continue to allow the blacker and so-called majority vote to merit in this country. You're taking down according to them. Then you want to continue to make it continue to hold on? Hold on to what? You Liberian people will accept the Supreme Court to compare the executive to enforce whatsoever the rule on. Upon that ruling, that kind of speech that was given by the president before the break of dawn, nobody could have found their way to come up that. Yes, that is why you could have do that for not to say, I will hold on. What are we holding on? Should I hold on until what? So he did a right thing, let you go, then he rest. History rejoicing that the right thing was done. But hey, Richard is worried right now because for nothing over holding on and make Richard speak up. But now for that thing is out. If you check Richard is trouble. Richard is confused. But even those people that were supporting him, some of them are now saying they want to be speaker. So they got to declare the seat vacant so that they can go through the process so that the new speaker can come. Whether it comes for the regime or whatsoever it comes for, I don't care. If you want no citizenship venture, but you can support somebody living with the people. You'll be the same story that they run their government.
Okay.
Answer to all of us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We've done our part.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We leave you right there. We'll talk to the other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. How you doing? Quickly.
Yes. Good afternoon, KOK.
Let's hear you.
Mike Bemelet calling from Buchanan Grand Basel, one of them.
From Buchanan Grand Basel. How is the Basel capital?
Oh, very fine. This cool evening. Everything is moving smoothly. The only thing that is actually very here that
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear you, my brother.
I thank you for this platform about this time. You know, some of us, we are downhearted about nothing else we can do now. We just let it go. That's all we can do now, my brother. Because I was speaker, the Liberian people speaker that is also Jerry. Jerry Santa will maybe today. It didn't go down well with us. But we know the reason. He never wanted to resign. But if you come to the place you go, you are sitting before the poor iron door, the place you go, you are your friend and you should meet the poor iron door. Then, where's the meaning of you being there? Your security, they're not giving you your security. They come for nothing. So, there's no need for the men to just be wasting time and be delaying people in the straight what they sort of get. The people that are working with you in office, they're not getting paid. Even the that supporting him at times, they destroy them. So here, look at that world, the other people that they are into,
okay.
So the only thing was that this government that July 17, what happened to Greg and happened to Paul will not be beyond there. Thank you.
Okay, we leave it right there. Let's talk to the president. Go ahead. 1 minute. How you doing? Okay, we missed out on that president. Let's talk to this international caller. How you doing?
Hey, okay, how you doing? And how you doing to Alexa?
We're great, my dear brother. Let's hear you quickly.
First of all, I want to say, what's up? Kudos to Representative, former Speaker Chief Kofa. You know, when I listen to the program and see some of the comments, a lot of people are saying, I'm disappointed you should hold on. What can make people to hold on? If that which happened on for the Supreme Court ruling, if it was just any other country, the president came out to make that statement the next day, the streets were going to be filled out with people demanding the president to do the right things. But you know what? Okay, the Liberian people would sit down and fold their hands and call on radio because they are afraid. Nobody wants to go to jail. They are afraid. Oh, no, somebody that the people children. You know, this is what happened. That Georgia lost the election. Yeah. That if you do the thing, you forget to know that you are doing it for the right purpose. You don't care for benefit. Do it so that history can judge you. But if I do it from the people of a family, we enjoy. Why am I going to do it? That is the notion. So you know why? The people, the politician knows that about Liberia. So you know they grab them with peanuts. But at the end of the day, they are the very people that are crying. They're not able to brave the storm and say, no, we will resist this thing no matter what it costs us. We resist. So for me, I would say thank you to Fanatic Kofa.
Okay.
Look, when people saw JMB, they saw Joseph Nyuma Boakai. They knew everything Joseph Boakai has involved in his lifetime has never yielded fruit for himself. Now talk about the nation. And you take a nation and give it to him, you say, you become the president. You forget to know that you're coming to be lawless. Or see people that got lawless when the country came and gave him presidency. Oh, you didn't see that? Yes, Jonathan Foucault, go rest, man. No, the one Richard Kool stay there. He would cry. And that they didn't want to cry, they want to pay that children's school fee, they want to feed themselves, nothing is happening. Wait.
Okay.
Something will force them to move on.
Thank you.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. We leave you right there. We go to this other person. Let's hear you. Go ahead. 1 minute. How you doing? Let's hear you, my brother. Quickly, go ahead.
Yeah, we the Liberia, we are too coward. We can scare. That is scaring that business for the people part of his dad. It's scary. Because Joseph Wagai violating the rule of the Supreme Court. And we come here, we sitting down, we praying. Because we scared to die. We scared to die. And that the former people like Michael Matthew there, we're going to see fall. But we scared to die. We don't want to die. So the president is overruling us. The Constitution say Article 1. The power is with us. Why we can't show our power to the president? Then we are looking at it. Why politics we done? So, me, I don't blame politics. I blame the Liberians. We speaking big books. We be English. Every day in the air we're talking, but we don't want to stay on it. We don't want to go on it. We're scared to die.
Okay.
That is the fact. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We leave you right there. Let's go and take Man CC. Then we take 4 more and go to the next topic. Go ahead. Let's hear you quickly.
How you doing, okay?
We're great, ma'am. Let's hear you.
Say hi to Alexa, my brother. Princess Venture College. How you doing, my son?
We're good.
Congratulations yesterday.
I mean, that thing is not news. So be Nigeria, not news.
No, that news today.
No.
To
defeat Nigeria is not news. I mean,
okay. To put it aside, let's say congratulations.
The dog boy the man, not news. When they say the man boy the dog, then not news.
All right, thank you. Back into the issue, okay?
Quickly.
Listen to the calling what that to resign. No, not but fanatic. And listen to my old man, Pierre to die. Who will raise their life? Everybody pushing a board behind low, Labra post 2 for the group. Okay, you want to go protest. Why they come to protest? I don't post save, I don't post there. Because the rule of law will say, let's go, Lord, say echoes. This country is by the rule of law, not the rule of God can told us in this country, okay, that you respect the rule of law. And he told us on a day when he was swearing into power to come and tell us that the rule of law is breaking on Baka and not taking precaution that is bad for me. What do you say about president? We are 2 days back. Today, they are come to tell us that when we are doing the dream, what's on that? I said, thanks for Francisco, but who's 2 ways gone? Often saying what they call rule. Whatever the court say, I will go back. And we went to the process, and the court said the people just say about it, like I'm moving, or they can do the right thing. So that is not one case, Labra one case, not one case. Labra for one case, Francisco, one case, and Labra to one case, Labra one case. So we was all today, they're calling on for to have meeting at the Capitol building, and they keep to work for say, okay, that yeah, we will have an election, then so be it. But after this, if we're going to resign now, we'll not go for election. And left with that, the whole world is watching. You want to say, okay? The whole world is watching. They're looking at us. They're looking at Liberians. What will be the next action? For protest here, they're expecting for all the players. When you protest, you will do this, you will do that. We're not expect. You won't care, but you not care everybody. You say people will die tomorrow. Tell me, the black people and we don't go for power and whether resign for protest, because I want to resign. You will say, it's so he should have got anything better than put ourselves in our lecture. Who will stay with you. I said they take you also. And to Labrador, the rule of law, I said they take you. Go for us, thank you for the time you've been there. Thank you for stepping the people. Let them go ahead. Let them have the election. So there's no election, it will be bad for our country.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. Let's take 3 more calls, then we go to the next topic here on 87.9. Let's talk to this person. Go ahead. 1 minute. How are you?
Thank you for the topic, man. Mr. Weber, we're calling you from Tinker Village.
Tinker Village. Let's hear you, my dear brother. Go ahead.
Okay. For me, I'm so disappointed in the former speaker,
okay,
to resign today because if he knew that he could do this, why not he wasted our time? We want him to set a kind of precedent in the world, in Liberia, that Nobody can just wake up and remove people. And to be very real with you, I stand today very frank to tell you that all those people who call lawmakers, they're star leaders, they only there for their self-benefit, not for Liberian people. Anyone calling you, Kofa, thank you, need to anywhere for us. If you know that you could say, they could say you are the speaker, they agree that you don't have no facility, remain as the speaker until the right to be done. Once the right to be done, thank God, you move. But today, won't take it glory. The right thing was done, no. When Koba resigned, the time supposed to resign, no. When he said for why he stood for, no. So why is the glory that going to him? Koba major issue was money. In my analysis, you are not for the rule of law. You are not playing for Liberian people. Thank God you have resigned. No lawmakers there for Liberian people. We the Liberian people, we are the cause of our own problem. Putting wrong people into power, call them, return it. Koba thank you. Koba has no thank you. At the time he was sending for us, he was sending for Liberian people. But why he did today, he did it because of money issue. Because if advocate was, they should pay his people who not taking pay. Why you care for 3.5 million people living in the country taking for 5% salary? Are you serious? Brother, thank you so much for the topic. I never say for Liberian people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Liberians are speaking. We do not have any reason to sanction their opinion. Let's talk to this other person quickly, then we talk to the last one. What is your name? Where do you join us from? Quickly.
Let's talk to this person quickly, then we talk to the last one.
Hello.
Hello, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Ruth Sayon calling from America. All those Liberians that coming on their radio every day speaking, they disappointed in us. We that in out of the country.
Okay.
Fonatiko Fan, you done the right thing because you need to resign. Liberian people don't need him. He suffer a lot. Even those that coming on that disappointed, they need to disappoint in themselves. It's not just to come on the radio.
Okay.
If that different country, they need to get on the street and demand the president to do the right thing. He hold the authority to do it, to hold on with the rule of law. But you refuse to do it. And Liberian people, they buy by that because some of them, they're receiving a lot of money in their pocket. So they don't keep Waka no want to. He made a plan for him. Seem to happy. After this, the court gave him ruling and said Fonanti is the speaker. Then listen, and the thing someone in Nigeria posting that he do it for money. They made life in danger. No security for the man. And you add security on the majority rule speaker. For what reason? What are you talking? Anything can happen now. People can that anything. Oh, because we say he will not resign, so he left. We just look at he left like that. He not call for like that, man.
Okay.
When they talk here, that's what we fire. Left for nothing, stay down.
Okay.
And he stay down. You're right.
Thank you. We'll leave you
Somebody
right.
come and get except for nothing here.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Let's leave you right there and talk to this person. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
How you can?
We are great.
I'm calling from Minnesota.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, first of all, let me say thank you to Mr. Cooper. He fought a good fight. We are being supporting him. It's not that we are supporting him in particular, but we are doing it because of the rule of law. We all support him because that's the only thing for the country. So, but to who have been following with him, I don't know what they want him to do. First of all, the Liberian people, Liberian wants standing back, meaning that it should be the to protect this old man called Black Guy. He swear that he will not change. He been there respecting the law from the day he took office. In fact, before he would even come to office, he started it. And the Liberian people sitting there, they're not doing anything. They just sitting there looking at Black Guy, having a word, whatever he wants to say. Nobody got anything to say, even our mom, our pastor, I don't know what kind of conversation. Nobody say anything. Everybody just mute. There's nothing going on. Everything is normal in the country. And we remember when you're getting the power a few years back, in less than 4 months, they protest for all over the country. The thing I remember was everywhere we protest, the protection of your community. But today, they are all quiet. They say anything. So what I want to come up with, those who support the family, 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 those who support the family too. They have to survive. You just sit down and not to be protesting and deal with the things also speak and protest is sitting and it's they're waiting for who to protest for them. Let it be there. Talking about Kofa. They think they're joking where I get the free look for now. Let us sit there and sit the puppet joking. In our country, it just and he thing like nothing. They are all people. They can do nothing so that they can sit there and shut them up and forget about whatever he wants to do. Now that's the best thing.
Okay.
If even he should go for the election. They had it for the year. That's when you because already people. So that is just so that they found resigning. Then they now they cannot speak for themselves. And nobody for them. They just shut up.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. We'll take this person. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
He will never join of it. Life has a certain definition. But I think it's right 100% on his side. The man has a stretch from the one. Can you imagine that you and your father are in the house when you are when people want and the father is not speaking to you, isolating you from the other city because you are the child. Will you be pleased after the house to say now? So for this, life has been a step. It's not good at that. If it's the plan, you still have it. Thank you, Alexa.
Thank you very much. We're going to take another person. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm able to get people say for that. Yeah,
Okay, thank you so much. Different views, different statements from Liberians. It is very interesting anyway. Let's take this person. Hello. Hello. I'm okay. Go ahead. Hmm. Go ahead. Live. We'll have to do another person. Hello. Yes. Go.
Thank you for that. The whole of your problem. The water of today. The last figure, the last figure. Yeah, the Canada the first figure that
Thank you so much. We take this person. Hello. Hello.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, Honorable Japan, I enjoy watching this. Like today's very comment, today big. Okay, my man, I go, President, come on, yeah. I lead up to what they could go to good out. I think what you give it to them. Yeah, the first one was the knowledge that they were from the family, and for the boy, I'm thinking of this boy. So I enjoy it very way.
Okay, thank you so much for contacting another person on this line.
Okay, so let's take this question. Then we'll try to take other callers. Go ahead quickly. Let's tell you. We thought to go to something else, but the calls are too many. Let's not take the question. Go ahead. 1 minute. How you doing?
Thank you, KOK. This is someone. I'm calling from.
Go ahead, Bishop.
The reason we decided to call is that because, like some of us, we are highly disappointed in Kofa.
Okay.
Because the thing is that we wanted him to stand to make sure that even if it's the two lawmakers go against him, they should go to the table and remove it. Because
I'm sure you have a lot of credit on your phone. So let me get into asking. You said even when the two lawmakers behind Kufa, they should ensure that they go and sit on the Kufa.
Yes.
Do you know that Richard Kuhn and the executive branch of government took iron doors and placed it to the entry to the joint to the original chamber and the office of the speaker? Are you aware of it?
I'm aware of it.
Do you know that the executive branch of government was able to double the number of security people to Richard Kuhn? They added it up by 50%.
I'm aware of it.
Are you aware that there is nobody with journal who got small pistol? Let's talk about machine gun.
Fine. I'm aware of it.
So,
okay. You should not say that you want to obey the law. You should not say that because you brought the Bible into it.
Bishop, this man went to the court. I mean, our country is not fighting war. This is not the country where the stronger man survives. The man went to the court. The court is the final arbiter of justice in this country.
Exactly.
The man went to the court and the court said, you have won. The court said the people wrong you. Under our law, it is the executive that's supposed to implement the court ruling. The executive yeah.
Edison did not go to the court.
Edison went to the court.
The Tara did not go to the court. They all did the same thing. Hey, he should not say for the rule of law. He should not say all the other guys went to the court and the court ruled on behalf of them. But the same is not. Otherwise, came out wasting our time for.
But their resignation issue was different from what happened here. There was no point in time when we see people lacking.
Of course, it presupposes that all the accusations that were leveled against Unifa,
okay.
They are all
to appeal all that they said about him because he did not stood up for his integrity to face them and said, no, why you can't give this back? Let's go into the gate and what have you. If you feel to go in the gate, then we'll go on to.
What do you also say about his black member who decided to leave him after they got to realize that the executive is not willing to do business with him? You saw.
Okay, he didn't pick that. He just and the rest of Jesus said, "Let me disciple." Oh, I know he did not give up.
Are you aware that Francisco is not Jesus? Jesus was God, though.
Yes, because Francisco was bringing the whole Bible into it. You didn't read his speech today that he fought a good fight. He kept it. No, he did not fight no good fight. He did not. He did not bring the Bible into it. That is fully political. He was just playing a game. He was playing a game.
Okay. Okay, Reverend. Thank you very much.
You should have got you don't say disciple. All of them are banning and he stood alone.
We the Christians say Jesus. I mean, we the Christians believe that Jesus is God. So you don't want to equate Jesus to Fonanti.
They not say that he fought a good fight.
Okay.
That's your point. He did not fight a good fight.
Okay. Okay, Bishop. All right, Bishop.
You disappointed some of us, man.
Thank you, Bishop. Thank you very much, Bishop Steele. Bishop Steele of the anyway, I don't want to mess him. But let's talk to this other person. Go ahead, Mr. Ryan Dickerson. Please go away from the radio, sir. He's out usually from Powell. Go ahead, Pop. Go ahead, sir.
You want to see that? Yeah, discouraging political party. Political party understand that the older was the president of the said, yeah, 5 years of it. I've abandoned the so that when he went to the he won the first of this country, 9 of his life. He will go down. And you know what you realize, okay? There were a lot of features yesterday that I studied. I get to know. And since you do today, we'll come to tomorrow. Market, guilty, market. God bless you and fight for you. There is one message who was sent guilty. Political factors, he has turned the group over to the speaker. I want to see what I do for that.
Okay. Okay, we leave you right there. Look, like I said, we had the intention to discuss 2 different topics. But let me say this to people and let it be very clear. And let's say there are 2 opinions.
And that's one of the reasons I actually wanted to.
So where do you stand right now before we wrap up?
Me, I still support the rule of law and the fact that we had to stand up until the end because we all watch this.
You wanna
No.
Okay.
I'm saying I still stand with the rule of law. And the fact that Fonanti had to stand his ground until he went forward and the court put in his favor, I think that's good too.
Good.
Its totality, 100%. That's where I stand.
Okay. Now, like Alexa said, I understand the emotions with all of you who say, "Oh, Francis, this." Let's be honest here to ourselves. The first protest action that was called for. You remember the protest that John Jacob was leading? Alexa, we saw Liberians asking for money to come outside. Forget about it. There are people who came outside willingly with their own heart. They themselves came from their houses and came to protest. But when we did investigation, they were asking for some money to come outside to protest. We have information about people who went to Natikova and requested that he gave some of them 30,000. Some of them requested that he gave them $30,000. Some of them requested for different money. He said, "No, this is not about me. It's about the laws of our country being violated." So when you want to give people money to go and protest for what you believe is right, I don't think we are fighting for the same cause. And that's why because of that, people stay off the protest. Today, people have personal issue of money because they did not get the money to protest. What am I saying? There's a tendency in Liberia where everybody knows what needs to be done. But when it reaches the point where that is right and needs to be done, is supposed to be done, people shy away. Oh, we got to protest. We got to show the government rule of law got to be upheld. We got to protest. Well, yeah, now the protest, unless I'll be on a phone watching on the TV, watching to see how many people there. You go, okay, but I'm playing there. How would they be playing there when you're not there? How would they be playing there when you're not there? Everybody talking, oh, Frandy, there's a photo, Frandy, that's what I resign, Frandy, that's what I resign. If a government decides not to be law abiding, there is something called popular uprising. It's not about removing the government from power, but the people's power. In Kenya, when the citizens got annoyed, they came out and the president of Kenya started to take action on some of the issues he was involved with in Kenya. Nairobi became a ghost town for a couple of days. It became very tense in Nairobi. At the end of the day, there were some reforms happening in Nairobi. Right here in Ghana, the Ghanaian president decided to to remove the chief justice from power. Accra, the entire Kumasi, Takrade, all over Ghana became very, 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 very jam packed with citizens uprising. That issue is still on. We are told that the president is trying to have a rethink of the decision. The citizens have the right in Article 1. The citizens have the right. It's cool for this is the longest time speaker battle has ever lasted. Everybody talk about Tyler. In less than 3 months' time, their battles were gone. In less than 3 months' time, their battles were done. This fanatic thing has lasted for almost 6, 7, 8 months. Only one protest action came up from Liberians. That protest, very few Liberians came out. We know how this country can be overcrowded when people go to protest. People going for political rallies. People know the right thing from the wrong thing, but everybody shy away. Integrated institutions that are supposed to be upholding the rule of law in this country are themselves taking side. You saw the Liberian National Bar Association issuing a statement against the Supreme Court when they are supposed to be in line with the law. You saw religious leaders in this country today, Alexa, pastors are making power on Facebook from the Liberian Council of Churches because of this same issue. The religious community is unwilling to be definite about lawlessness in the country. A respectable Liberian clergyman from the Islamic section, Ali Krai, that you need, sir. Oh yeah, the man who has been all over the place championing the issue of integrity, justice all over the country. Small free for the carrying consultant somewhere. They put on the member of the board. Small member of the board team. He is no longer speaking integrity and the rule of law. He is no longer preaching justice. Our bishops are no longer speaking on their pulpit, criticizing and condemning the Vargas administration for their wanton disregard for the rule of law. These things are not happening. In the midst of it all, you still will continue to hold on to power. When all about the guys are disarmed, he's no longer having any escort vehicle, no backup vehicle, no long range, no short range, no weapon, nothing. The day the Supreme Court ruled in Fanatic favor was the day the police increased the manpower to Reject us, the manpower in Reject law, the manpower in Reject office. The day, every day the rule in Fanatic favor, it was the day they added Reject gun off, they added a gun off, they added a boom off, all the weapons the sort of thing added off. They had 3 grenades, they added 4 there. They had 5 AK-47, they added 30 there. They had 10 men to all in the net, they added 15. When it's supposed to have been the other way around. Wait, Fanatic is a human being now. Come on. He got flesh and blood, he got family. He got family. Some of you who talking for Israel, don't this, don't that. Some of you are the ones blaming something kind of today. It don't you do. It don't you want to lead that you go Nigeria. You're not gonna do that. Some of you who are saying people do this and do that. To make matter worse, the very lawmakers who are with him, used to him for almost 8, 9 months, they became tired. In the end, someone decided to leave him. Until Liberians can understand that Article 1 is not a joke in the Constitution, what a Bakao, what a Dotriao, what a Elio, what a Bronsky, I mean, peace to the Bronsky agents, whatever the situation is. Until Liberians realize that the power is with them in Article 1, until they know that that particular provision is not a joke, a lot will continue to happen to us in this country. Because President Baga is just testing the dictatorial tendency in Liberia. There's the first government that has proven to have total disregard for the rule of law. Whether you like it or not, it's authentic. The first government where the rule of law is not even existing. Nobody can come for it. There could be worse dictatorial leadership after President Baga. If Liberians continue to keep this mindset that we'll all talk, yeah, let's not decide to say, oh, you know what, let's protest tomorrow. Protest actions are not meant to change government. Protest actions are not meant to loot the country. They are not meant to destroy properties. They are meant to create civil disobedience. That will pressurize the government to do the right thing. When you come up in your number, when you know the party wants in the country election, you can see the number. So now you see over 5,000 cars coming in town with human beings. They play park everywhere you pass, green t-shirt. When citizens launching in the town, you got the same thing happening. If citizens uprising start to happen, the police will not shoot nobody. The police can only go retaliate when they see human being. The police operate. They can look at the first group of who protesting, then they check how many lepo to reach the last group of people. When they go see, you're not even fair between 8 lepo. They say no, whatever. That three tier guy will just launch them. But when you have simultaneous protest action happening, the people from Chiefs of Fire Canada, LPRC will set the Chiefs of Fire Joshua and block their place and ensure that the government of Liberia understand that the law needs to be protected. When Famuma is blocked, when Red Light is blocked, when Bata is blocked, when Pempo is blocked, when Bravo is blocked, when those businesses are simultaneously organizing, we saw the AFL women in the country election. When the AFL women got ready to bring an issue to the attention of the government, they locked down their city. They locked down this town. The government was forced to act. When Fnatic called for protest, people went there to pay them 30,000. I mean, sorry, he didn't call for protest. When John Jack Baba then said they wanted protest action, instead of people going to John Jack to ask him, how can we mobilize, they were going to Fnatic and say, oh, John Jack organizing protest under your deal. And you get 30,000, let me help John Jack to organize. And that was totally uncalled for. I understand that you are disappointed in Fnatic on this and that, but what then do you expect him to do? The office he had when he was speaker, before the Supreme Court ruling, how would he know? After the Supreme Court ruling, in the presence of state security officers, they go carry iron gate and put it there. What then do you want Fnatic to do? To become a rebel leader? Because when the rule of law is being disregarded, the only option to any other person are two things: to either walk away or become a rebel. I would not want Fnatic to become a rebel because he won't be speaker. That's why we have the law. If the law is not respected, people resort to go into violence. I will not support Fnatic being a violent person. I would not want to support that. Because by right, if you say I'm the speaker, by law, and somebody else want to implement it, and I see somebody else acting in a role, if some country west guys will hire people, they will mobilize the people, regardless of the manpower and ammunition, the other men come in, they will mobilize the people and force them into that office. What then do you think will happen? When national conflict starting, it doesn't start from a large scale. You go take gun, or you go take knife, you took somebody who Alexa know. The person fall down, they pass away. Ooh. And Alexa get to know, say, oh, I only want to juke the person. And then I have to go tell other people that who can fight you, the code can't juke me. The people who know, say, like, Alexa somebody juke me, go juke Alexa somebody. The other person go juke Alexa somebody go juke somebody. Before you know it, the whole country is involved in chaos. That's not what we want. And so if the law is clear, if the ruling was given, and at the end of the ruling, the executive that is supposed to implement the ruling, the executive decide to play politics, to disregard the laws, do you expect Fonati to become rebel? Do you expect Fonati to become a rebel general? That would be wrong. That will be against the very law that he continues to preach. Let the record reflect that he went to the law respected him, the law recognized him, but the executive that is supposed to impose the law refused to do so for political reasons. Whether you and I like it or not, historical records will keep reflecting Fonati's role. The record will be clear that he took a particular stance in upholding the rule of law, and a particular president in a particular executive branch of government under Oswald threat. And that's why I'm calling on the Minister of Justice. He's my own Methodist pastor. I mean, my own Methodist elder. Father Tue, you are the Minister of Justice under your watch. The government is unable to enforce the Supreme Court's decision. That is a terrible legacy under your watch as Attorney General of this country. Father Tue, I mean, for us in the Methodist Church, Alexa, whether you president, you this and that, we call you Father in your last name. If you are ever been around when I was often around President Weir, I used to call him Father Weir because he's a Methodist man from the Georgia Party United Methodist Church. That's how it is. I'm calling him Father Tue because he's a Methodist father. I'm a Methodist elder, rather. An elder in the Methodist Church. You are the Minister of Justice. A terrible precedent is happening under your watch as Attorney General. There is a reason why the only president in this country who can disagree with the president, the only presidential appointee who has the right to disagree with the president, I mean, minister, no, is the Minister of Justice. The Minister of Justice is the only person who can disagree with the president. You have that privilege. You have that privilege to be appointed in such a position. We expect you, Father Tue, to guide the president. Even if he insists on disregarding the rule of law for political reasons, your job as a Minister of Justice was to inform him and make him understand that, hey, Mr. President, you are president because there is a law. You are president today because there was a law crafted before on how people can be elected, a law crafted on how people can be declared winners, a law crafted on how presidential transition can happen, how this can happen, and that's why you are here today. You cannot go back punching that very law that made you. It is in your power as a Minister of Justice to do so. For you to remain mute on it, for you to remain quiet in the wake of the wanton disregard for the rule of law, doesn't say anything good about your reputation, your image, your career as a professional lawyer. This is the country that we have. A country where people will ignore what is legally prudent because of political proximity. Would you have rather Kofa die in the process? Would that have meant an hero for you? What will you do at the end of the day? I mean, at the end of the day, what will you do? This country that we know, where the police fire two gas, everybody go home. The country where people can go protest with telephone, you go protest, your man calling you, you on the road there. I mean, is that the country you want to risk it all for? I bet you all of the people who call, if not 90% of those who call, said it doesn't pay cover. If you organize protest today, you'll not sit on the road. Somebody will get money for people to buy water. But you will not see their living body on the road. You will not see them part of the protest. You will not see them. You will not see them. And so that's the issue he's faced with. He has resigned. A vacancy has been created. That vacancy, under our law and the rules of the House of Representatives, that vacancy will be filled in through election. The Liberian people still have the right to rise up. If the remaining lawmakers refuse to act in accordance with what the law says, it is not their choice. It is by force that they act in accordance with the laws of the country. They don't have a choice in it. It doesn't know what to say that we do it or we not do it. You don't have a choice. Once the legitimate speaker resigns, you are supposed to go to election. So you say you're disappointed in Kofa, it's time for you to be disappointed in yourself. Tomorrow, the horse is going to be re-adjoining. I mean, the horse is going to be resuming, rather. When they assemble, there'll be deliberations. If you so desire a situation where the law will be protected in this country, you have to change. It is our expectation. Let me say it now. When it started happening, we'll refer to today's edition. It is our expectation that the executive, presided over by the president, will do everything possible to ensure that Rachel Kuhn remains speaker. They will not subject him to election. They will cajole, manipulate the flow, make the place in a way that nobody will even talk. In fact, the issue of proper resignation letter might not even surface on the floor. I repeat, the issue of proper resignation letter might not even surface on the floor. They may choose to ignore it because once it is right on the floor, automatically actions will have to be taken. My best bet is that it will not surface. If that doesn't happen, it will show that Kuhn remains the quote-unquote speaker. And those of you who say you're disappointed, you want to see what will you do? Will you go to Capitol Building and sit in? You don't have the boss cars. You could go to Capitol Building and sit in, sit down on the driveway, sit down in the corridor, sit down before the joint chamber, sit down, lock the place, lock it down, demand that the return to constitutional order. How many of you will do it? How many of you will do it? How many of you? You put two that on your phone, you call KOK ELEXA, we're disappointed in Kofa. Good, you're disappointed in him. How well are you willing to go beyond being disappointed in him to upholding the rule of law? Okay, he's no longer speaker, he left. But tenure positions are being violated. People are being removed from the tenure position. Today, they are still looking for justice. People were removed from the tenure position, they did not resign. They are home on expired tenure. Who were on expired tenure. They are home. You, the people who say you disappointed in Kofa, how many of you have been able to challenge the Baka administration to reinstate those who were illegally removed from the tenure position? Kofa 2 were occupying tenure position. Oh, there's no difference between Kofa tenure position and the LTO tenure position. No difference between Kofa tenure position and NAPA tenure position. And the rest of the other CBO tenure. No difference. Tenure. So Kofa is gone. There are other people who have taken position, whose position were taken from them. If you are disappointed in Kofa and you think you want to uphold the rule of law, why are you guys not talking about the taking position people who are sitting home? They have not resigned, but their jobs have been done by other people. Other people working in their position, other people taking salary in their position. They are not working. They're not resigned. Nobody sacked them, but they're not working. Why you can come out and advocate for them? Because we are good at talking. Because it's easier to say this man is XYZ than do XYZ until we can understand the strength, the power that's contained in Article 1 of the Constitution. We are far from all of these things. And I don't want to waste my time. On tomorrow, we'll be here for a different conversation. It's good that Kofa has resigned. Whatever happens in the plenary tomorrow, let's see what will happen if the letter surfaces on the floor. Well, all political predictions are not meant to be accurate. That means I fall short on it. But my best bet is that letter might not even surface. If it will surface, it might be treated with caution. They could send it to one committee room. It will die there. And the very rule will not be applied. My best prediction, Alexa, as we go home, prepare for a rotating speakership. If something else happens, well, it shows that politics is unpredictable. But my best bet is for you and I to prepare for the Richard Cohen speakership. That's all I can say until we go home. Bye-bye. So we'll return here on tomorrow. By tomorrow, we'll read you a particular publication where in the hospital in Nimba County, I'm told that hospital is for the vice president's family. I think your two daughters or somebody in in charge of their names on it. Yeah. But the hospital has some terrible records. And we are hoping to expand on that conversation by tomorrow. Until then, have a wonderful time. God bless you and bye bye.